With the new region dropping in Zenless Zone 0, we'll have a bunch of new content to complete and bunch of new events and bunch of new characters. And if one of them is Valina, like look at her, bro, she's so hot. So most of the people will be pulling her. So I wanna give you guys a quick guide on how to play her, what her roles are, and how she can actually be useful to your account. So this is a guide on Valina, the new S rank agent. So the core skill of Verena is literally you building energy regen stat to her, because as you can see on the screen here, when Verina's initial energy exceeds 1.2, that is every additional 0.01 point of energy increase from 1.2 increases the damage dealt by 0.21%. In that way you can actually increase the damage by 35%, and it is also going to increase her anomaly mastery by 0.5%. In that way you can actually increase her anomaly mastery by 84%. You need around, for every point 0.01 there is going to be 0.21 percentage of increase in damage dealt. So you need around 160.66 to achieve that 35 percentage of damage dealt increase. So you need 1.66 energy region. So coming to the anomaly mastery, for every 0.01 there is going to be an increase of 0.5 anomaly mastery points. So to maximize her damage output you need around 1.68 energy recharge. So you're gonna build her around energy recharge, so that way you can actually maximize her damage output. So she is a anomaly wind agent. Let us get into her core skill. When Valina enters a battlefield, she gains 45 wind blooms. What are meant by wind blooms? I'm gonna explain that in the combat session. Basically, it's the top left corner. There you see a bar which can hold up to 135 of wind blooms, which can hold up to maximum of 135 of wind bloom points, which then when you hold normal attack or special attack, it will create a wind shear eye of the storm. That is right here. If we hold normal attack or special attack, it will create a wind shear storm. You need minimum of 90 to create that wind shear eye of the storm effect. So that is what wind blooms are used for. These are the main core kit that she has. These are really important to her kit. And next, going back, when she enters into the battlefield, she gets 45 of those. So this effect can trigger once every 180 seconds. So there is a long as cooldown for that. So you can actually not spam intro skills and actually get onto the field and gain 45 and burst it out. That is gonna be really cracked. So just that's why it is gonna be having a very long interval. So after that, using ES special attack, wind shear purifying rays, or it is going to basically the wind shear purifying rays that we after you use special attack. So you get another 45. Let us actually how to get these points and all. You can either get them from normal attack or using special attack. So basically, this is like really big, but it is like really like using special attacks and getting off of the field and using another anomaly agents, which I will be getting into. Okay. So basically, she can hold up to a maximum of 135. That is 90 plus 45. So you can actually, when you use you can actually have extra 45 or something. When Melina triggers Vortex, she gains 1 point of Wind Bite. Wind Bite, I'm going to show it right here. Those are the points that we have, like 2 dots right over here when we are in the combat. I'm going to be showing that in the combat part. So you can actually understand. This is like all like really big sentences, but it is when it comes to the combat part, it's going to be really small. Like really small. When Melina triggers Vortex, she gains 1 point of Wind Bite. So Wind Bite point. She gets 1 point of when Valina has 2 points of wind bite, the next time she triggers vortex, which she's gonna be triggering, she consumes 2 points wind bites to increase her damage multipliers. Like that is like more the amount you have, the more the damage you do. That kind of thing. So it is not big. deal. Like win by points, you will get them by actually playing her. So that is all. The actual multiplier increase is like 100% increase in the multiplier. So in addition, a sweeping cyclone. What is meant by sweeping cyclone? When Verena uses EX skill, that is we have already discussed from the wind bloom point, she's gonna be consuming 90 of them, like, and using the wind shear eye of the storm or trigger vortex while consuming 2 points of wind bite. She's gonna be summoning a sweeping cyclone. That is like basically uh she's gonna be having a cyclone in on the field. That is gonna I'm gonna be showing it off in the combat session how that is actually gonna work. What it does is it is gonna give a resistance trade, wind anomaly resistance trade, and anomaly that it is tinted with. Like uh imagine this is gonna be really easy in Genshin Impact. I'm taking a reference. When we have a animo character, there is gonna be a set known as Viridescent set. It is actually when how Genshin Impact works is elements interacting with each other. Those are gonna be interacting with each other. So when an animo reaction happens, that is like pyro swirl. Those are known as swirl reactions. That reaction happens due to that set effect. There is gonna be a resistance threat to the enemies when they actually hit by the swirl reactions. So that is how this exactly works. Like this with the anomaly units. That is how this exactly works. There is nothing more. When we are talking about the actual resistance threats, wind anomaly build up resistance threat is 77% for 35 seconds. Repeated trigger resets the duration. Like you are gonna have a 7% resistance threat for 35 seconds. And like I have told you, right? When swirl reactions happen, like when another attribute of anomaly is inflicted into that particular storm, you're gonna have that anomaly resistance decreased by 7%. So this is how it actually works. So after that, this is some when an enemy is affected by sweeping cyclone that we have already discussed. She's gonna be summoning sweeping cyclone after you actually consume 2 points of wind bite points. She's gonna be summoning a vortex thingy that is sweeping cyclone. Again, when an enemy is defeated in that particular duration where the vortex is actually happening, the vortex duration is gonna be increased by 5 seconds. This effect can only be triggered once for the same sweeping cyclone. So it is like one how enemy is defeated in that particular sweeping cyclone, that is going to be extended by 5 seconds. Not actually number of enemies is not going to elongate that. Only once per sweeping cyclone. So actually you have to like do continuous sweeping cyclones so you can actually do big PP damage. So after that, coming to condensed cyclones and sweeping cyclones trigger an explosion when they dissipate. Like when their turn is over, they're gonna explode, and when that hits an enemy, suffering that is gonna make that enemy suffer wind anomaly damage. It triggers one instance of a bloom damage against that particular target, reserves an additional instance of attribute anomaly damage, dealing a fixed multiplier of 95 and 155. It is like at the end it is gonna explode and it is gonna deal extra damage. That is it. There is nothing more. Like this is the breakdown of her entire kit. And we have a special skill. Like this is basically they're telling that you have to use another anomaly character or the character that shares the same attribute in her team. She's gonna be really needing that because for this effect to be activated, those conditions are to be met. So Valina windscape and vortex damage is increased by 10% if these above conditions are met. When the heavy attack from an ultimate hits an enemy suffering a wind anomaly damage, it triggers an instance of a bloom damage. Like when we heavy attack, you get the point, right? It is gonna do an abloop damage against the target. That multiplier is fixed and it is at 680% of wind attribute anomaly damage. So that is it. For core passive, breeze in the bloom. This is like really important. The attribute anomaly built up resistance reduction from sweeping cyclone is further increased by 7% when these conditions are met. When there is another anomaly character in the team or of the characters of same attribute, when they are in the team, this cyclone is further gonna resistance rate of 7%. Like you're gonna have a total resistance rate of 14%, and it is also gonna inflicted days by 30%, and accumulate attribute anomaly build up increase by 15%. So these are the things that you're gonna have when she is paired with this same attribute teammates in her particular team. But no, actually she is the only one, so you have to pair her with just same attribute people or any anomaly character. Those are the conditions to be followed to activate this additional amenity tea party. So that is it. That is the breakdown of our entire kit. Yeah, it looks like really large, but when we break it down, it is like real. That's it from me, and we are gonna be looking at what I have discussed right now in the actual combat, like how that actually works and how to play her. Like go back to the go to the combat session. So coming to her disc sets, you want to be running a disc set that is introduced newly into the game, that is Wuthering Serot. So this provides wind damage bonus, and when she actually uses EX attacks that we are going to be mostly using in her kit, the anomaly proficiency is going to be increased. That is the main part. And when equipment triggers a wind sweep that we will be triggering, you know, like every point of time that she was on the field, their damage is going to be increased a bit more. Like for 18% is not that much, but it is a good multiplier. So basically the stats that you want to aim for is already highlighted for you guys, but the main one is, remember, 1.68 energy regen is required. There is no point, get as much as energy proficiency as possible and attack as possible. Like you can grab them, but the base point that you have to build her on is 1.68 energy regen. Please remember that. And coming to her off piece, that is her other sets, you can actually use some of the anomaly sets. You can use any of the following, like whichever set that gives you energy regen when you actually want to, beat the threshold, or that gives you anomaly proficiency, like chaos zaz, you can use that. Or you can actually use that provides anomaly proficiency, or you can use moonlight lullaby to actually get the resistance stat. There is a bunch of options that you can go through, but for the office, if you are low on the energy region, try to use a off-piece energy region disk set. Or if you are capped at the energy region, then try to use a anomaly proficiency off-piece set. That are the suggestions that I'm gonna give you for the drive set. And we are going to W engine session. So for the W engine, you don't have many options. Like you are gonna be for the balancing of the stat, you are gonna be needing her signature very importantly. But there are three alternative free-to-play options, but you have to balance those stats really, really carefully. Like if you see on the screen here right now, I have pulled up because I don't have these particular W engines on the my account, so I have pulled these up. So you can either use Jadu Draw, that is her signature, or Flame Maker Shaker, or Fusion Compiler. Or you can also use a free to play 4-star options that are on the screen right now: Rainforest, Government, or Electro Lip Gloss. These are okay, but they are not gonna provide you the energy recharge stat that you are gonna need to achieve the threshold. So, try to, if you are using these particular W engines, try to get an energy recharge stat of 1.68. So that's it from me. I have been Hero. Thank you for watching, and see you guys later.